Siri, I need a great speaker for our May meeting.
How about Scott Friedman?
Why Scott Friedman?
Because I'm happy.
He's fun, entertaining.
It's you! I can't believe it's you!
He's inspiring, interactive, and his content is very relevant for business today.
So I recommend that you don't get out of bed in the morning without turning on your GPS.
Recalculating. Turn left ahead, and you will have reached your destination. Unless you want to continue being a stupid jerk with a crappy attitude, in which case your destination will be a crappy life. Good luck with that.
This is really the crux of the Celebrate program. To create a celebration mentality based on inclusivity, gratitude, play, and surprise, keeping your GPS turned on.
G51.
Is it one of those stock presentations?
No, with over 30 years in the industry, Scott prides himself on creating customized material based on the relevant needs of the audience.
The problem with work today, especially in HR, because you have so many balls that you're juggling, is we just move from thing to thing. We're putting out fires. We're dealing with employee issues, right? We don't have time to celebrate. And that's why Finish Line is so important. So your first challenge for me today is change the word deadline to finish line and see if you notice any difference as you're approaching and completing whatever task it may be.
It's celebrating the little and the big milestones along the way.
We define celebration as acknowledging all that is good. The good work that you do, the people that you do it with, the people that you do it for. It's when your to-do list becomes your done list. You see, celebration is really just an attitude. It's a philosophy about life. It's the lens through which we see our world. And if you can change your lens, you can change your language, you can change your life. It seems that staffing has been quite an issue for the last few years, right? So I think a rip for staffing for sure. What else? This is your chance. Get it out. Inflation, right? Trying to make ends meet. Yeah. Okay. Good. Overworked and underpaid. Is that fair? Recruitment issues, retention issues. Okay. Anyone ever have a day like this before? Yeah? Anyone ever have like a week like this, a month, a year? You see, when you let circumstances and emotions dictate your outcomes, where you lose sight of all the good that you do, where you lose your focus, these are the days that we have. But the good news is, with every stressor in life, there comes a gift. A chance to think in terms of new possibilities. A chance to make new choices. So if we can keep our sense of humor, we can look for the lessons, the silver linings, then just like magic, we can restore all these torn feelings. That's the first time it's ever worked before. Play starts with a good sense of humor. How many of you think you have a good sense of humor? That's it? Okay, how many used to have a good sense of humor? How many have never had a sense of humor, but you think there's still hope? Okay, good. If I wanted my dad to lose his sense of humor when I was growing up, all I would have to do is bring home my report card. 7th grade C's and D's. He beats me to the mailbox. Dinner time, pulls out my report card. He says, "Scott, what is this?" I said, "Dad, it's one person's opinion. Do we need to talk about it?" One person's opinion. Yeah, I think we need to talk about it. How come Andy doesn't get C's and D's on his report card? Andy was one of my best friends growing up. I could never quite measure up. I said, "Dad, you can't compare me to Andy. We are so much different." He says, "So are you. How are you so much different?" I said, "Dad, Andy has very bright parents." Two guys haven't seen each other in a long time. How do they respond? Like giant Pez dispensers. Honey, who's that guy? That's Frank. You remember Frank? Frank is the guy that gave me the kidney. Hey, Frank, thanks again for the kidney. Have another Pez. Everybody wins.
Next question.
Many people think that celebration at work is a little bit light, but actually it's just the opposite, because it creates engagement. Engagement leads to greater productivity, team performance, and profitability. It truly brings you closer not only to your staff, but your customers as well.
He said it all comes down to a simple choice. You either get busy living or you get busy dying. You either get busy living or you get busy dying. Great advice as we approach the future, right? There's so many ways to approach it. We can fear it, we can ignore it, we can deny it, we can just accept it, or we can anticipate it, we can imagine it. But the best way to predict the future is to create it.
Want to create true connection? What do? You tap into what's highest on people's joy list. You surprise them.
I think what makes me unique is that in the 30 plus years of doing this globally, speaking in over 25 countries now, that I bring a global perspective and a cultural sensitivity to each program that I give. And I know what relevant value looks like, so I can write customized material for that particular group that means something to them.
Siri, is he a decent human being?
I think your mother would like him. He has won the Cavett Award, the National Speakers Association's highest honor. The Rice Award from Meeting Professional International for Global Leadership. And he is the co-founder of Together We Can Change the World, a nonprofit dedicated to the education and empowerment of less fortunate girls and women in Southeast Asia. And lots of other cool awards.
My life in the last 28 years.
Siri, you're right. Scott is the perfect speaker for our May meeting.
Smart lady.